مجمع الأندلس التعليمي، تعلم عصري ملهم بهوية وطنية وقيم إسلامية.
الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Dear students of grade 8, I welcome you once again. Today, inshallah, we are going to talk about Module 4E, Writing page 55. قبل ذلك أذكركم بقيمتنا لهذا الأسبوع. هذا الأسبوع لا زال الحديث عن نصرة النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم والعزة والفخار بالانتماء لهذا الدين الحنيف وباتباع هذا النبي العظيم الذي ننصر ونحب من يجله ونعادي من يعاديه وينتقص من قدره صلى الله عليه وسلم. How to write a story and what are the elements needed for a good story. To know that, let's have a look at the following video and then we shall continue our talk.
How to write a story. For young writers, stories need a few things. Hi guys, do you remember what a story is? A story tells us something that happened. Well, a story needs to have a few things so that it can tell us what happened. We are going to look at what these things are. We will start at the beginning. Here is the beginning of our friend Caterpillar. After the beginning comes the middle, and after the middle comes the end, and the end of him too. Caterpillar is just like a story that you will write. He starts at the beginning, has a middle, and ends with, well, an end. It is important to have all these parts because look here, if we have just a middle and an end, we wouldn't have a whole story or a whole caterpillar. What would our friend do then? Stories also need to have a setting. That is, where is it? Where is my story? Here it looks like it's outside on a sunny day. And a story needs characters. Who is in it? Who are my characters? Today we have Stan and Sandy. And these characters need to do something. Something needs to happen in my story. Stan asked Sandy if she would like to see the clouds. I can see them from here, she said. Stan smiled, grabbed her by the hand and launched into the air. This is what I meant, he said. Sandy screamed her head off as she looked down from the clouds. So, young writers, let's look at what you know about stories. You know they need a beginning, a middle, and an end. You know they need a setting and characters, and that something needs to happen. Well, that was my story. Now, it's your turn.
Okay, dear students, now let's have more elaboration on how to write a story. You need to ask yourself these questions. Where do I start? What do I write? Is it interesting? Now let's move to the explanation in details. What are the elements of a good story? The elements are characters, setting, problem, feeling, opinion, and solution. The characters are the people, animals, or things the story is about. The setting is the where and when of the story. The problem is the thing that happens to the main character that changes the story. The feeling is what the characters feel towards the whole experience. The opinion is what do you think of the event and the story. The solution is how the problem comes to an end. Now let's practice with a simple story. It was Friday. It was a rainy day. I was with my family. I was driving to Dukhan. I was driving fast. I overtook a car in front of me. I crashed into another car. I was injured. I went to hospital. So we shouldn't drive fast. To apply what you have learned, please let's go to the workbook page 59 and 60. So this is a plan we are going to follow to write our story. We have introduction, we have the setting, where and when, we have the characters, we have the main part, what happened first, next, and then we have how did the characters feel, which is the feeling, what did the character do or say, and finally we have the conclusion, what happened in the end, how did the characters feel. Now, let's have a model writing on how to write a good story. Let us read together. It was a nice summer morning and Billy and James decided to go scuba diving. They took their scuba diving equipment and got into Billy's dad's boat. As soon as they arrived, they put on their scuba diving gear and dived into the water. As they were swimming, they saw a tropical fish. They were amazed. It was so beautiful that they started taking photos of it. Suddenly, they saw an entrance to an underwater cave. At first, they looked at each other because they were scared. But then they decided to go inside and explore it. While they were swimming in the cave, James discovered a wooden treasure chest. They were surprised. They had to find a way to take it to their boat. They tied a rope around the chest and started swimming back to the boat. Then they pulled it up to the boat. When the boys opened the chest, they couldn't believe their eyes. It was full of gold coins. They didn't know what to do. They decided to take the chest to the police. The police thanked them because they had discovered a really important treasure. The boys were so excited. So, dear students, this was a model example of how to write a good story. By this, we have come to the end of our session for today. I hope you benefit from it. Until I meet you next time, أقول لكم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
مجمع الأندلس التعليمي، تعلم عصري ملهم بهوية وطنية وقيم إسلامية.